Thank you for joining us tonight. I appreciate you giving up a Saturday evening to come in and fellowship a little bit with one another and hear of some of the projects and some of the goals we're hoping to accomplish in 2022. Really is a little absurd when you think about the realities of it. We've invited you to come here to hear about how you can pay money for something. But God's been good, and you've always given, and to God be the glory. Over the years, in the near 20 years now that I've been on staff at the church, and certainly for the 13 years that I've been the pastor, our church has incurred zero debt. Every project we've done, everything we've done moving forward has been paid for as it's happened. And so we want to praise the Lord for that. God's been very good. From the remodels we see out here, the building of the ramps, to the building of the concrete pad, the renovating of our property, the purchasing of buses, the purchasing of vans, the carpet inside, the pews inside, the lighting inside, the sound system inside, all of those things over the years. God has been very good to us. We have paid every step of the way as we've done it, primarily through the Vision Fund offering and the I Love My Church Sunday offering. And so we look forward to what God's going to do in this next year. Thank you for coming tonight, and I hope you're as excited about these projects as I am. This project, we're standing on the northeast side of the church, is to finalize what has already been done. This concrete pad was poured this last year in 2021. In 2020, we poured the concrete pad down there, as well as Brother Randy established the walkway, the stairway down. The year before, we did the fence all the way around, the privacy fence. The idea is that we want to make some improvements here that'll make this one of the fellowship areas of the church. And so the plan is to have a couple of very nice picnic tables out here, also chairs, a fire pit, as well as a grill that really would be accessible to the church, the members of the church, people of the church, virtually 24/7, and outside of church times, obviously. But on a Sunday night, people could come out here, sit around the fire pit, grill marshmallows, hot dogs, fire up the grill. Sunday afternoons, we have an afternoon service. If people want to come out here and fellowship, they can do that. Just anytime, anything that would encourage church fellowship, we want to do that. Our shed down over here that was built this last year by Brother Craig Wilson is where we will store everything with a lock and key, so folks can pull it out whenever they want it, use it whenever they want it. So just to complete, the project is completed, but just to complete the instrumentation of the project, the grill, et cetera, about $1,000 would finish that off and get us the tables and chairs that we want, as well as the grill and the fire pit for use out here. One of our other projects this year is to beautify and to correct some things on the very entryway into our property. Probably, I don't have statistics on this, but this is likely the area where most of our congregation fellowships and spends time, particularly in the summer months, is right out here in the front. So we want to do some things to take care of that. First of all, where we're standing needs a little bit of repairs. You can see we've got some cracks and things of that nature. And so we're going to start with the simplest of fixes and hope that that works. If it doesn't, we're prepared to go more and more drastic, up to and including ripping out the concrete and redoing it here. We want to take care of that and make sure that it is fully functional and a little bit more appeasing and appealing to the eye. In addition to repairing where we're standing, we also want to make some of the improvements and enhancements on the area back here. I've been receiving many questions about what we're doing and how it's doing and so forth going on. The reason for what we're doing there, the Hernandez family has been instrumental in that. They have seen what was done at West Coast Baptist College there in Lancaster, California. That's kind of our template that we're working on. Brother Hernandez has done all of it himself, and we're very, very thankful for what he's done. That project should be completed this year as well. There'll be a new veneer around the outside of the existing brick. We realize that brick is ugly. It'll look more like the church brick and be a beautified thing. There'll be a pergola across the top that'll be of a bit of a shadow in the summer months. Then there'll be stairways that will lead all the way out to the parking lot. And then when all it is finished, the stairway leading down here will receive a handrail and some beautification. Much of that, again, is being taken care of by the Hernandez family, and we're very thankful for that. But we want to be able to assist and plan with both the repairs here and then the finishing out there of some various projects and some various things. And so we're allocating $3,000 to be able to beautify the front entrance of our church. Every year at our Vision Fund offering, we always try to do something special for another church, for ministries that aren't our own. I believe the Lord has blessed that over the years. 2 years ago, we did the honoring of the faithful for pastors in our area that had been in ministry for 40 plus years. Last year we did Christmas presents for families in ministry, and both, I believe, were a significant blessing. This year, our vision goal, our vision fund offering for a project not of our church is a little bit more specific, a little bit more targeted. The First Baptist Church in Lafayette is pastored by Brother Brian Ricker. The church is actually it's a little over 100 years old and have been around for a long time. But it's really a replant, a restart. When Brother Ricker became the pastor, I believe the average age of the congregation was 82 years of age. And so he had some seasoned saints, but didn't have a lot of young people, didn't have a lot of young kids. And so he's really got his work cut out for him. I appreciate the doctrinal stand and the effort that has been made to keep that church alive over the years. But because of the older membership, there's been a lot of things in the building itself that have not been kept up. And so I really, as I prayed about it, I've been super excited to make First Baptist Church in Lafayette and Pastor Brian Ricker sort of the beneficiary of our vision project this year for something outside of our church. Really would like to do two things for them. First of all, the church parsonage has zero insulation in the attic. Zero, none, nada, nip, less than nothing, zero, nothing. And so we want to take care of that for them. Rent the machine at Home Depot, Lowe's, whatever, and blow a bunch of insulation up there and get that taken care of. I believe we want to do that as quickly as possible. It may even be the very first project we do in 2022 so they can receive the benefit of it during the colder months. In addition to that, we want to do something for their church congregation. Their platform is very small. It would be approximately 1/4 the size of our platform and a much, much smaller area. But the handrail is falling off. There's some warped places. There's some areas that at the very least need to be repaired and possibly recarpeted. And what we'd like to do is we'd like to prepare to replace the whole platform if needed. We have some things scheduled where Brother Lasacco is going to go and take a look at that for them and see exactly the best way to deal with it, the best way to fix it and to help them. But we need to be prepared to cover all of the expenses. So between the helping them out with the insulation in their house and the replacement of their platform in their church, we're budgeting $3,500 up to that to help them and assist them. And I firmly believe God blesses churches who are giving churches. And as we're looking forward to moving our projects further, I can't help but think that God would bless us for helping a sister church that's just got an aged congregation and be a blessing to them. And so for our another project this year, $3,500 to help the First Baptist Church in Lafayette, Pastor Brian. Our next project is really a simple one. This last year, our church gave $35,000 to the Delgado for our missionary church planter. It's good, it's fair, it's right. We're excited to be able to have given that. However, that has depleted our reserves. And so one of our projects for 2022 is to add $5,000 back into the church planter fund, the missionary fund, so that we can begin preparing for the next major expense that will come up. So for 2022, one of our projects is to save $5,000 for the Delgado family. For our big project this year, and it is a big project this year, our final project this year is to help this area here. For years, it's been the church's dream and the idea that we would build a parking lot and have it out here. For whatever reason and for various reasons, that's not going to happen quite the way we wanted it to. But we still want to move forward and make improvements. Several years ago, we were able to put in the parking pad over here. That's been a huge blessing. It's been a blessing to our senior citizens, disabled folks, and things of that nature. Made it much easier for them to get into the church. But everywhere, no matter how much gravel we put down, it keeps getting muddy. You can see the water run off now. And so we want to start making advancements to that. So bear with me if you would. Right over here, we have our basketball court. We've had this basketball court since I've been the pastor there, and you can see that's not much of a basketball court. Yes, but it legally is a basketball court. So we've checked with the city without having to pull any permits. We were allowed to build an actual basketball court where we've already had a basketball court. And so we are going to be building a basketball court from where the pole is there, approximately 70 feet in that direction, and 50 feet wide, which will carry us about to right here, kind of in between the two sheds, the AT&T and the Verizon shed, in terms of the north-south distance. And we'll have a basketball hoop over there, It'll be marked, three-point line, free throw lines. Be a great place for our teenagers to be able to play basketball throughout the week, Wednesday nights, etc. And so it'll be a beautiful thing. We'll try to get some light to shine out there so they can use it even as it gets darker. Now, one might be asking, why would we want a basketball court? Why Why would we need to do that? Well, the answer to that is very, very simple. A basketball court is something we can legally do to put concrete down. A basketball court is something also people can park on Sunday mornings and Sunday nights and Wednesday nights. So it's not a parking space, it is a basketball court. But you can park on a basketball court. The idea would be, over here we have our parking pad, over here we'll have our basketball court, where there'll be two different places where it'll be concreted and better for mud, et cetera, et cetera. Eventually, the long-term plan is to then connect the basketball court with the parking pad with permeable pavers. If you don't know what that means, that is pavement, pavers that water can go through, that is porous. Because of that, you don't have to pull a permit for those either. And the idea would be we would then connect that concrete with permeable pavers that would allow us then to have this entire area up here concreted. And so no more mud, no more dirt, all of those things. It would be a tremendous blessing, a tremendous help. I don't believe we'll be able to get the permeable pavers this year. That'll probably be a project for next year. The cost of the basketball court and the basketball equipment is $11,000. It's a large sum. But if you look at it, it really will serve a dual purpose. Our kids can play basketball on it when they want, and we'll be able to park on it throughout the week and on Sundays and Wednesdays. And it is a basketball court. I stress, it is a basketball court. But it'll be a functioning basketball court that will serve a dual purpose. Again, the cost for the initial stage of this project, $11,000. So there you have it, the projects for 2022. It certainly is ambitious, and we believe that the Lord is completely capable of meeting all of these expectations, desires, and wants, and then some. It's an odd place, perhaps, to conclude this video. We're in the upstairs youth room. This is where our teenagers have Sunday school on Sunday mornings. Behind, you can see the pictures of various events and things. The reason why we're up here is simply this. Most of the projects we're talking about doing things that will benefit us. Certainly if we build the basketball court, i.e. parking place, that will benefit us today. The fellowship area, that'll benefit us today. Helping First Baptist in Lafayette, that'll help that church today. And so we praise the Lord for that. But the reality of it is, if we do these things well, they will benefit the next generation. There's a very real chance the next pastor of our church might be sitting in this room this coming Sunday. That in 20 years and 30 years, these projects will still be standing and still be benefiting a generation that is yet to come. And so I hope you're excited about it. I hope you'll give and you'll contemplate what all the Lord would have you to do for these projects. As always, on I Love My Church Sunday, there'll be three primary ways you can give. Certainly, cash on hand. That will allow us through check or giving online, tithely, giving that Sunday. That'll allow us to begin those projects immediately. Second, you can give a weekly allotment, just like Faith promised. You can say, I'm going to give $10 a week, I'm going to give $50 a week, I'm going to give $100 a month, however you choose to give it, over the next year towards those projects. By the time we get some of the projects done with the money that's given the first Sunday, then that money will be built up and we'll be able to do it, continue on the work and the other projects. The third way that we can give is through a lump sum payment. Sometimes people know they're going to get an insurance settlement. Sometimes they know they're going to get a tax return. They just don't have that yet. And so you can say, I will give $1,000 by April the 1st. I will give $400 by August the 8th, whatever it is. And then that way we know we can count on that money moving forward. The three various ways that you can give. Thank you for coming today. Thank you for considering it important. Thank you for looking towards the future. We always want to be a church that has a vision for what is to come, and we thank you for being a part of that.